riches and wisdom. So we have even right there.
What's his name?
This is an emergency transmission from FEMA Region 6 in occupied North America.
There is a war. It's happening now. It will decide the fate of humanity. The time to choose sides has come. We are the resistance. We are the info war. We are joined, as we enter into this third hour broadcasting worldwide, by Dr. Jerome Corsi, one of the senior writers at WorldNet Daily. And he has a PhD from Harvard in political science, and he's worked with the State Department, you name it. He's a multi-time #1 New York Times bestseller, and he's got a lot of inside sources on what's going on. We've been following very closely, and I asked him a few months ago that as soon as he had more information to come on the show, and so he contacted us, dealing with the purge of the military that undoubtedly is happening now, and undoubtedly is huge. We've had a lot of top generals like Boykin, former head of special forces, and others go public. And we've seen admirals, 4-star admirals go public saying Benghazi was staged as a fake kidnapping, went wrong, and it's all really starting to come out. And now we've got, just today, as Corsi joins us, former CIA official accused of misleading lawmakers on Benghazi. That's in Fox News. Another one here out of the Weekly Standard, lawmaker, CIA #2 lied to us about Benghazi. Well, yeah, of course they lied. And the question is, what is Obama going to do now? And will the Republicans finally go after the Democrats and damage them? Or are they so wedged at the hip at the highest levels with Boehner and the rest of them that they're above the law? I mean, that's really the question here. So Dr. Corsi joins us with the latest breaking developments on the military purge that's going on. So thank you for coming on, Doctor. Go ahead.
Oh, great pleasure to be with you again, Alex. Thank you.
So much happening. So, A, thanks for coming on. B, you've been studying this from every angle, and WorldNet Daily has the connections to the generals. You've been interviewing them along with Mr. Malouf. What's really going on?
Well, I spoke to General Boykin very recently, and there's no doubt that the Obama administration is purging the military. I mean, the replacement of generals is at an all-time high. I think there were something like 8 generals who were replaced. This is generals and flag officers replaced last year. I think there were 4 in the first term of Obama, and the pace is accelerating. The replacements that bother me the most are the ones you mentioned. There's 2 categories that bother me the most. One is these replacements over Benghazi, starting with General Ham, who, of course, was in charge of the African command. And General Ham, from the beginning, was critical, saying that we could have gotten reinforcements to Benghazi in time. And then was also replaced General Baker, who headed one of the task forces in Africa and claimed that we could have gotten helicopter relief to the consulate, to the Benghazi compound.
Of course.
During the surge. And then the next round of replacements and pressure seems to be on any military with traditional values. In other words, expressing positive belief in God or not accepting the LGBT agenda.
And we have the memos. They say if you're an evangelical or part of the Tea Party, you could be brought up on court-martial.
Yes, right, exactly. I mean, the pressure now is that anyone who holds traditional values, believing in the Constitution, including the First Amendment rights of religion, is suspect as a hater or as a denier of the rights of the LGBT community. I mean, it's really turning the Constitution on its head, such that the military is being placed into a bind where profession of Christian beliefs is going to be detrimental to career advancement. And that's fundamental to the reason we have the First Amendment, is that people who are, we should as citizens be able to enjoy, including in the military, constitutional rights, including the freedom to believe and express your...
Sure. I mean, they're trying to dominate reality, taking the majority of the American people and then just listing us as extremist or terrorist. and then we're all supposed to just sing from their sheet of music. And you know, we can laugh at this, but it's not a laughing matter when they're purging almost the entire nuclear force. And I think there's more to it than just the political correctness. They are, I think they're thinking about a long-term coup of the government itself, more of a soft coup. Not that Obama would stay in office. It's just that they're getting all their judges, all their operatives in, so there's a coup of the bureaucracy even more than there already has been.
Well, clearly there's a major reduction in the U.S. military capacity to wage war to defend the country. I mean, I don't think we could today launch a two operations war as we did under George W. Bush. Certainly not if the wars were in different theaters. I don't see how it's possible. The military has been so reduced in capability. The training has not occurred. We have reduced forces across the board in every one of the major services, fewer airplanes, fewer naval ships, just a reduction in force in general. And the American people are unaware of it. I mean, it's a leveling down of the power of the United States, where whoever follows Obama is going to face a military that reminds me of a pre-World War I military in the United States, just completely incapable of being a major military force in the world. And China, at the same time, is ramping up, expressing, belligerent intent in various controversies with Japan. And our Pacific Fleet is again in a diminished position. We've got an old fleet again. We've got a fleet that is going to be vulnerable to modern cruise missile attack. I mean, World War II certainly saw the rise of the carrier replacing the battleship. Well, now you've got a whole new Navy configuration given technology, and we have not developed a Navy that's really in the missile technological era, where even Iran can sail 2 Navy ships to our coast, unblocked, unstopped, unhindered, and those ships could be having a preparation for a EMP, an electrical pulse EMP attack on the United States, which could put out all nuclear blast, explode in the high atmosphere, electromagnetic pulse attack that could destroy all radio, television, internet communications, radio communications in the United States. And we're just totally vulnerable to these things. And Russia and China are ramping up at the same time.
You are watching the best of the Alex Jones Show, weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Watch live at Infowars.com/show or become a member of InfoWarsNews.com and help us take resistance to the next level.
The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding, making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
The brainwashing media machine has been turned up on high, and it's time for humanity to double down on the true people's media and strike back against the tyrants that are destroying our civilization with their lies and fraud. We are the resistance. You are the resistance. You are the info war. It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv.